Welcome to my online training program in Mindful Lucid Dreaming. My name is Kristen Lamarca, and I have designed this course to train you in the essential skills for cultivating frequent, high quality, and transformative lucid dreams. In this course, you'll be able to explore multimedia coursework that integrates Western practices based in science and psychology with Eastern traditional influences such as mindfulness meditation and the Tibetan yogas of dream and sleep. You'll be able to listen to lectures while reviewing my teaching notes. You can download and complete worksheets to really refine your skills. And you'll be able to listen to guided meditations and induction practices as you're going to sleep, as well as during the day to improve your ability to lucid dream and be mindfully aware of your present state. Ultimately, if you master the skills in this program, you'll be well on your way toward becoming a proficient Oneironaut. You might be wondering, what's an Oneironaut? Oneiro comes from the Greek word dream, and naut pertains to the navigation and exploration within a given environment. So an Oneironaut is someone who is trained in the skillful navigation and exploration of dream worlds. By taking this course, you'll be training yourself in the careful, methodical self-observation skills that afford the greatest degree of mindfulness and lucidity possible within your sleeping, dreaming, and waking states of consciousness. Before you embark on the course material, I do just want to give you a few introductory words on lucid dreaming. And many of you might be listening to me right now and not even know what a lucid dream is. So I'd like us to just take a moment to consider here as we are now, as you are now listening to me speaking in whatever room or environment that you're in. Consider that you're going along with a certain view of reality. And this view includes believing that you are awake in the physical world and this experience is happening. You assume that you're awake, and you don't really question this otherwise. And suddenly it occurs to you that everything you thought was just happening actually isn't happening. Instead, you realize, wait a minute, all of this is a dream. So now your frame on this experience is something different entirely. You now have a context that looks beyond your limited frame of viewing the world, assuming that you're awake, because now you know that you're not. Now you're awake in the dream. This is what it means to be lucid. And this state is an ideal environment for practicing relating to whatever is presented to you with more flexibility, creativity, and purposefulness, because it affords you more choices for responding to and shaping your world in ways that you value. Before I say more about what to expect in this program, allow me to give myself a little more of an introduction. I began lucid dreaming in 2005 after I learned about lucid dreaming in a psychology class and learned that not only has it been verified in controlled experiments, but there is a vast array of applications associated with the state that can really help people. Particularly, I was fascinated by the unique features of the state that make it so favorable for healing, creativity, therapeutic growth. For example, the sense of safety and psychological flexibility that it breeds. You see, in lucid dreams, you realize your body is safe in bed. So any direct threats to your physical survival, social, or societal livelihood fall away. Safety is one of our most basic human needs, as you can see in Maslow's infamous hierarchy here. And personal growth is inhibited unless this foundational need is met. By knowing you're safe, this changes your thinking and behavior so you can experience and learn new things, express and get to know yourself more authentically, and grow as a human being. Moreover, lucid dreams give you freer access to valued experiences. Experiences that are preferred, meaningful, or helpful in some way. Experiences that may be psychologically charged and have more potential for healing and insight. or experiences that evoke more creative flexibility, not just in your dreams, but also in your life. When I began my PhD program in clinical psychology, I did make sure to get some extracurricular training in lucid dreaming. And at that time, I sought out mentorship by the Lucidity Institute and Stephen LaBerge, who's a world renowned pioneer in this field. I attended my first intensive retreat with him in 2007, and since then I've grown to co-teach with him. We've conducted research together. In 2018, we published a paper on his years of work refining a lucid dream induction protocol that combines a mental set for inducing and exploring lucid dreams and optional techniques such as adjusting your sleep schedule, taking herbal supplements, things that can enhance the mind-body conditions that are conducive to lucidity. You might also be interested to know that I do work as a psychologist in sleep medicine, and I provide counseling interventions for insomnia, nightmares. I offer interventions for other conditions such as trauma, depression, grief, anxiety, and some of these interventions do include the lucid dreaming therapies. So this program is appropriate for all levels of experience, including those who have never had a lucid dream before. Although this program hasn't been tested specifically in a controlled experiment, similar methods in week-long intensive retreats, for example, show success rates of about between 70 and 80%. Keep in mind that some individuals may have more luck than others in inducing lucid dreams, and they may have certain traits that would make them more successful at this practice naturally. Some of those traits might include already having a high degree of dream recall, meditation experience. They may be getting sufficient amounts of restful sleep. Their stress levels may be low so they can focus on their inner development. If you don't fully match these characteristics, don't worry. There will be opportunities for you to learn how to improve things like your dream recall, meditation skills, sleep quality, and stress control through lucid dream work. I also want you to generally consider what is an optimal amount of effort to put into your skills training. And with that, I'd like to borrow not just from my personal and professional experience with teaching lucid dreaming to other people, but also from what's called the Yerkes-Dodson law. This is a law that says performance increases with physiological or mental arousal, but only up to a certain point. So as you can see here on this graph, we have the x-axis, which shows the degree of effort, or what some might call arousal or even anxiety, or the pressure you place on yourself to lucid dream. And this runs from low to high. And on the y-axis here, we have the rate of lucid dreaming, so the number of lucid dreams, for example. And this runs from low or 0 to a higher number or level. And you can see that as you put in more effort, you start to have more lucid dreams. If you're putting very little effort, you're not going to have many lucid dreams, most likely. However, putting high amounts of effort might also mean that you're putting too much pressure on yourself to lucid dream. And the more effort or the pressure you put on yourself to lucid dream, the more you get this effect of diminishing returns, where you see less success at your practice. So if you're putting too much pressure on yourself to lucid dream, and let's say you're intensively doing the skills practices every single night, what this might look like is that you may not really be getting adequate sleep or enough sleep. Your sleep might be disturbed from all the time you're putting into these induction techniques. Or maybe your brain is just so full because you're spending so much time absorbing the content in this class that there's little processing power left in your brain to devote to actually inducing lucidity. So there are some things that you can be doing to overcome this issue. Number one, you should find a way to have some balance in your practice. You don't want to be going 100% full throttle every night on these practices, because for most people that's just not sustainable. So take breaks, balance this journey with other forms of self-care. Also, if you find that some of the induction methods are interfering with your sleep a little too much, it could also help to take a night or a few nights off so you can catch up on your sleep. I often recommend that if you get a little less sleep because you're doing these induction practices, then you may want to reserve having a focus on lucid dreaming for nights where you can sleep in a little bit, or perhaps on a weekend when you don't have any serious obligations, where you need a full night of sleep, where there aren't going to be as significant of consequences if you don't get a full night of sleep. And the other piece of advice I have is to take your time going through the modules. Don't just be so obsessive about this that it consumes you and drains you. And also repeat some of the modules and the exercises. You're not going to learn all of this in one fell swoop. You really want to learn these practices in a way where you're doing them correctly and you're doing them well, and they become very rote and easy to remember and easy to apply. And that's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen just by going through this material one time. Uh, Lucid dreaming does require some repetition in some of these exercises to really fully understand these practices. Another question that inevitably comes up for people exploring these practices is how fast you can learn to lucid dream. So, my answer to that is that it varies. Some people have a lucid dream shortly after learning about it or learning these skills, or sometimes even on the same night as they learned about lucid dreaming. And other people can take longer. It could be days, weeks, months, maybe even years before someone has a lucid dream. There's also the case where you might be having plenty of lucid dreams, but you're not remembering your dreams. So you couldn't even know if you became lucid in the first place. So, in short, it just depends on the individual. Most people, when they're doing these techniques correctly and regularly, they can learn to induce lucidity. So, if you find that you're having difficulty inducing a lucid dream, and many of you will, I want to encourage you to keep at it and possibly find a way to talk to me, because there might be some factor interfering with your practice that we're not considering. It could be an undiagnosed sleep disorder. It could be some sort of misconception that you're having about lucid dreaming. So it could be a number of things, and I encourage you to get in touch with me and find a way to chat with me about your issues. Could be in the forum or in our Facebook group. You're also welcome to schedule a one-on-one appointment with me through my website if you want to try to sort that out. I also want to say a few things about why I take a mindfulness approach to lucid dreaming and what I see as some of the benefits to that. Mindfulness means moment to moment awareness of the present just as it is, this moment, the here and now. It's a counterpart to lucidity. Mindfulness originates from the phrases to remember or to bear in mind, and remembering is the cornerstone of lucid dreaming. First, you must remember your dreams so you have a sense of what to focus your waking mind's intentions on in order to become lucid later. Secondly, you use memory strategies that can help you remember to recognize the dream state the next time you're dreaming. Mindfulness also gives you skills that help you learn how to observe your reality with more accuracy, rather than observing reality through our usual mode of looking at things, which is really through the lens of our opinions or by doing guesswork, speculating or assuming things that are happening when that may be far from the truth. Or you might not be paying attention to the present moment at all, instead being lost in thoughts and fantasies and ruminating or planning for the future. So this skill of mindfulness, it can bolster your ability to pay attention to your present states in ways that eliminate the guesswork that can interfere with making accurate observations about your reality, including the ability to discern between waking and dreaming states while you are in the dream world. Mindfulness also has a host of other features that can aid a lucidity practice. A very concrete example may be applying mindfulness or meditation to observe the sleep to wake transition, consciously fall asleep to initiate a wild or what's called a wake initiated lucid dream. And mindfulness, just generally, it can help you be more familiar with your own mind, which can include being more familiar with the thinking patterns you have that can interfere with or promote lucid dreaming. A mindful approach to lucid dreaming also acknowledges the dialectical nature of consciousness and helps us find more balance between seemingly opposing forces. In a lucid dreaming practice alone, especially in the West, people tend to have very polarizing views. They take things to extremes, they ignore other parts or contexts, they see things as black or white or all or nothing. But a mindful approach can help us better see and surf the gray areas and find more balance, for example, between acceptance and change, or what some might call between acceptance and dream control. How do we find balance between what we typically define as being asleep versus being awake? Maybe there's more gray area in how we define these states. Maybe waking and sleeping or dreaming are not as different as people tend to think. There certainly could be other dialectical tensions that a mindful approach can help you work with better. For example, the optimal balance between goal oriented and lucid dreams and not having a goal in dreams and just exploring or being responsive to what comes up spontaneously in your dreams. What's an optimal balance between being skeptical or doubtful of your realities versus having trust, certainty, confidence? So there are many tensions like this that lucid dreaming and a mindful approach to it can help us better balance. So I'm hoping that some of the basic mindfulness skills in this course will help you overcome some of these inflexibilities that arise when we get entangled with verbal rules and traps of language and things that can limit our lucid dreaming practice. I'm very much looking forward to not just the modules on mindfulness and seeing how that may enhance not just your dreams, but also your waking life. But I'm also very much looking forward to hearing about your experiences with this course. So, thank you very much. I wish you the best for exploring the materials and your dreams. Best regards and sweet dreaming to you. Thank you.